Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of JaianMusic Notes. On the last few, I was by myself. I was breaking down some covers, but today we got a really special guest, someone that I was very hoping they would say yes to come on this episode for this anime soundtrack breakdown, and they said yes, and they are here. My man Sunar is on the podcast. How's it going, buddy?
It's been a while. Also, we're not going to talk about the gunpoint that you had me at. So, yes, I voluntarily.
No, don't worry about that.
I voluntarily said yes. Someone say, help! I'm here at gunpoint. He has it aimed right at my head.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. And today, Sunar and I are going to be talking about some good old Tokyo Ghoul original soundtrack. Very excited to get into this. Before we do, I got to do that YouTube content creator, podcaster thing and thank the sponsor of today's episode. I'm so not used to doing it, but like it's we have a sponsor on this show now, which is really great. Laser Audio Technologies. If you're a music enthusiast or an aspiring producer, they make awesome plugins. It's my buddy from university who created this company, and he's become very successful and renowned for these amazing plugins, such as Fram and Glowed. It's all these different types of creative effects plugins. And if you use code JaianMusic at checkout, you get 25% off, which goes straight into this podcast and straight into GoPro Kyo, who does all of the artwork for JaianMusic Notes. All right, Sunar,
Jaian,
tell us a little bit about yourself and what the music in Tokyo Ghoul means to you. Just a general opening for you right there, wide open.
Okay, so about myself, I am a musician, artist, a musician with astrophies. I'm a singer, vocalist. I write music. I've been writing music since as long as I can remember. Yes. I am a voice actor, musician. I did that already. Okay, I'm a voice actor, kind of creative mind, always looking. Music means a lot to me in general. Music saved my life when I was a kid. Really got me through harsh times. And I've been involved in at least some aspect of the music scene ever since. Not as involved as I'd like to be, but still. What it means to me, Tokyo Ghoul was the first song, specifically Unravel.
Yeah.
Unravel was the first song that really challenged me as a vocalist, because boy, is that song rough. But not just for like the intensity of how hard it is to sing, which it is very, very hard to sing. Oh God! But the lyrics are. Can I go into a little bit about like being a singer real quick? Because it isn't just singing chords.
On a music podcast? How dare you?
Well, listen, I'm very, very, very
Canadian.
Anyways,
we get it. We get it. We get it.
So being a good vocalist, at least to me, isn't just singing the chords correctly. It's embodying the emotion that comes with the song. So whenever I start doing a cover or I sing a song in some way, I always try to put myself into the songwriter's shoes and see what they felt emotionally. And Unravel is really intense emotionally. It messes me up in the headspace whenever I sing it. It is so freaking rough on an emotional basis.
It really is. To me, it's one of those songs that made me want to make more anime music covers. Unravel starts so softly and so almost quietly, but it's one of the, if not the best anime music crescendo of a song that's ever been composed, in my opinion. It just goes to this new place where you are singing emotions. The melody is emotion. The composition is emotion. It's just pure emotion no matter what. And, when it was used at the very end of season 1 as a way to wrap it all up, oh my gosh. It tied it into the soundtrack of Tokyo Ghoul so well. It's the staple of the Tokyo Ghoul soundtrack, in my opinion.
I think it's a staple of a lot of like soundtracks. Like I think it's as a little what you said, I think it is one of the most iconic openings of all time, visually and rhythmically. Like that opening is creative genius,
Hmm.
from a visual perspective. But we're not talking about the visuals. We're talking about the music. Like that song is crazy, especially since it sounds. I don't know if it the singer, at least the way he sings it, is slightly off key. Like
It's human.
he's
It's
slightly
super
off.
human. You know?
Yes, and the lyrics. I'm using the English lyrics that I know.
Yeah.
Are rough. I don't know if you know what the lyrics directly translate to.
I remember
But
seeing
it
like translations on YouTube, but I can't recall right now.
like the ending. Uh, it makes me, a lot of the time when I'm singing it, it makes me bawl. Like I just fall apart during it. Um, where it starts with, "Oh, teach and tell me the way that things should work," and then it ends with, "Oh, teach and tell me, oh, teach and tell, just who's inside of me, the monster pulling
Which
strings."
is like such a good way to reflect Kaneki's like ghoul and human side. To me, I'm not even. We have those clear guitar tones at the beginning, and then when the crescendos
Those
really
guitars are
explodes,
so
you have
good.
those like distorted ones. To me, that's like human and ghoul. That's the way I saw it.
Those distorted guitars are so freaking gnarly. Like they're so
Dude.
freaking good. I don't know how they got that sound. It's crazy good. Sorry, music nerd came out.
Oh wow! On a music podcast, how dare you? We're gonna do that like 45 million more times. I can already tell, but it's okay. We're here for
Yay.
that. Here's the thing. I could do 20 hours of podcasting on just Unravel. We could unravel this topic for days and days and days. But I really think that Unravel just became a song that defined anime music, and it just resonates with fans of anime across the world. And it's got powerful lyrics, haunting melodies, and it's just like I said, like it cemented its place in like anime music canon. Like just you can't like I started a series of albums called Anime Anthems, and the first iteration of Anime Anthems has a Unravel cover on there because it has to. It's there. It's undeniable. It's undeniable.
Me and a friend are like, Unravel has kind of become our rite of passage as as a vocalist, because it's so freaking hard. Everybody has to make a cover of Unravel just to show that they could sing that song, because it's so freaking hard.
Oh man. No, that's good. I mean, you're already hitting one of the songs I wanted to talk to, and we have quite a few more to go to here.
Yeah.
A song that listen. I'm not gonna lie. I want to keep Unravel as the last one, but like if it comes up like that, it comes up like that because to me it's like the best. For last,
I'm
like, yes.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Another one to me that I really, 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 really think is a staple. But like, here's the thing: if we use the term staple from now on the podcast, we try to compare it to Unravel. None of these to me compare to Unravel because of how impactful Unravel is. But if there was to be some type of like arguable contention, I have to go with Glassy Sky. To me, Glassy Sky has this piano ethereal quality that is so delicate. It's so beautiful, but it also combines these like really high end and like thin rhythms that are just kind of just in the background and percussing back and forth, back and forth. But the piano and the melody all put together is so sweet and soft. Like, what are your thoughts on Glassy Sky, like as a whole, before we like get deep into it?
Believe it or not, and I'm gonna get some judgment from you, it's not my favorite.
How come?
It's nice. It's just that there are the openings that I heard are more impactful than the endings. But that's just me as a person. It's really, really pretty. It's really, I mean, Tokyo Ghoul has this kind of in general, this haunting soundtrack, which I think they lost later on in the series.
Yes.
But It's pretty. It kind of reminds me of being in a snow globe. Is kind of the feeling I get
I
when
agree with
listening
that
to it.
very wholeheartedly. Yes.
Just kind of laying in a snow globe and looking up. That's kind of how it feels.
I
Her
feel
vocals are very clear.
Yeah, I just like to speak on what you just said about like the like atmosphere of a snow globe. To me the sound design and the polished smooth percussions. Now that like you've given me the words I've been trying to find, give it this very flowing and near haunting atmosphere that I feel like a snow globe kind of just has, because a snow globe is kind of weird, but it's also very relaxing. You see what I mean?
It's just it's pretty. Yeah, it's
Yes,
a very pretty song.
absolutely.
I'd have to listen like deeper into the lyrics. But it's I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't my favorite when I was listening to it. I kind of skipped over it a lot.
It's
Um
okay. I mean, it's you're not supposed to like every single song on the soundtrack, you know?
I think to me, and we can come back to this later,
Yeah.
Catharsis was the one that competed with Unravel.
Really? Okay. Let me
Um,
hit play on Catharsis here because this was a late addition to the playlist.
Mainly because it's also done by TK, but
Okay.
Catharsis is freaking gorgeous.
But it's one of those songs that I did not remember existed, and then the second you hear play, you know why it's so good. It's got that exact
Like with
same
the
thing as Unravel, where we start kind of just, oh, here's a high pitched voice, here's a little bit of piano, and then here's 20 million layers of
the
guitars right in your face.
the distorted guitars as
Yes,
well.
very smooth. What do you like
It
this one so much?
also
Tell me like
is
your perspective.
well, it's also really hard to sing. I'd actually argue it's harder to sing than Unravel.
How come?
From a vocal standpoint, it doesn't sound like it, but there's a lot more. Um, he goes into like the those he goes into those way more consistently, and you have
Mm-hmm.
it requires so much control to keep that on key while staying in that whispery kind of falsetto tone. And then
Right.
the chorus is rough, the chorus is nuts, and for me,
Extremely. Yeah.
um
Yep.
it hit me this song lyrically hits me really hard. It plays into my own kind of insecurities
Yeah. I see what you
um
mean. I see exactly what you
about
mean
missing
as I listen.
people.
Mm-hmm.
um the lyrics the lyrics, and also at least the lyrics that I know in English are very, it does a callback to the original Unravel,
Right.
um which is unravel my body till I'm in pieces. I miss you. So sentence me again. It's basically the whole idea of a person um, having their crimes and understanding their crimes and being judged and
Right.
condemned by other people.
I
And
see what you
it's
mean.
yeah. And this
Like,
person saying, I miss you, and apologizing over and over again to potentially never be forgiven.
I feel like the words that come to mind for me when I like as I played through this song are, it's grittier than Unravel. It's has that same dramatic energy as Unravel, but the structure is much more complex in my opinion because we shift in tempo and intensity very suddenly throughout the song. There's like, it's like
Yeah.
edges and edges and edges and edges and edges, and there's not really like it feels shortly smooth at the very beginning, and then like I said, you get hit with that wall of like leads and rhythms, distorted guitars,
Hmm.
and those drums,
Hmm.
and it's very well layered. And I think that the sharp guitar riffs and drum beats are like relentless and brutal, and they just speak on this contradiction of this song's about oh my god, this is a word.
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability, but extremely gritty though. So it's got that juxtaposition that I really like as well. So absolutely great addition to the playlist right there. Oh, I am just. I'm in a good place right now with you, Tunar. I'm not gonna lie. I am like, this is what I like about these guest episodes, like rediscovering the soundtrack of an anime I've loved and watched over a decade ago, and just remembering why it's so good, why it's so damn good. I'm happy to be on this, like, just talking to you right now about this.
We should do Vinland Saga in the future.
That's a thing. That's a thing.
Vinland
2 likes
Saga
on this
soundtrack
video and we'll
is
do
so-
it. Fine. You're twisting my arm.
Only
You're
2.
twisting my-
Only 2. You're twisting my arm.
Do you have a YouTube account as well, Tunar? Then we're sad because I always like my own videos.
But no, I love Catharsis, and to me, as much as I love Unravel, and I really, really love Unravel, Asphyxia and Catharsis are like tied.
Really?
Yes, like I really, really love Unravel, but I really love Catharsis even more, and I found myself struggling whenever I tried to sing it more with Asphyxia, with Catharsis than Unravel, which is. But yeah, sorry. I'm gonna stop apologizing.
Yeah, it's all good. We can edit it out. Okay, I'm not editing any of those apologies out. This is who you are, man. We're good. To me, Yutaka Yamada score, like when we're just talking about, like, I know we've only spoken about like a few openings and endings here, but like just on a wider line here, you get with this soundtrack in Tokyo Ghoul, like reflective piano melodies that almost feel like heartbreaking. You get intensely painful vocal lines, like you're like, it sounds like the singer is about to bleed out of their mouth as these things are sung. And
doesn't sound like he is bleeding. I'm joking.
Okay, well, you know, that's exactly. To me, it just this is quite dramatic. It's much more dramatic than I remember it being. But then we're talking about ghouls and humans here. So like, what do you expect? I'd like to go to another Yutaka Yamada composition here.
Whoa.
That's just one that I love. Sunar, do you know how much I love this one? I love it so much that I scoured the internet to find sheet music to make a cover of this one because I wanted to include it. I'm talking about Licht und Schatten, which is German for light and shadow. Let's hit that.
Licht und Schatten, I believe it's that one? Okay.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
This one has this, how can I say? We have those sound design elements, those strings, and just what feels like background vocals just kind of coming in together. Something's coming towards us. What is it? And then we just swing in this drum beat that just goes, notice me, I'm here, and this is going to be a very intense journey ahead of us. Do you see what I mean? Like the build that Yutaka did in this one, it comes almost instantly as you hit play on this. What are your thoughts outside of that?
Surprisingly, I get a much more
You see what I'm saying?
Because first I thought like a triumphant sound, but now I'm just kind of like anticipation. Yeah, with the sound of anticipation and build up. Yeah, I can see it. Something I'm noticing is, at least in the soundtrack, is there's a lot of violins used throughout this soundtrack.
Yes,
violins
a lot of violins
gorgeous,
are used.
by the way. Completely underappreciated. Violins are so underappreciated. Musicians, use more violins, please. I beg. Find a violinist. They can rock super hard.
This is all fact.
Like, no, it's very. Sorry, I just got down to the second quote unquote verse part of it. Yeah, I'm just listening and enjoying. I actually okay. The
Calming,
build up on the
reflective, and like
yeah.
crescendo, decrescendo smoothly. not dramatically.
The build up that they do in the background as well, where the violins kind of go into the background and start reverbing like they're from a distance. It's really, really well orchestrated. Yeah, but there is
the orchestration here is just on point. To me, it's like we're in the light, we're in the shadow, we're in the pain, we're resilient. Like we are constantly reminded of the emotional depth that Tokyo Ghoul brings to the anime music genre. This track is one that is like. Go ahead, please.
No,
Go
on.
Okay, sorry. This track is one that like is often associated with like Kaneki in what from what I in my research, and I think it just conveys like very like complex emotions. Like I said there with going from light to shadow, from hope to pain. This song just brings that out of you as a listener. You feel it all.
Which, going on to that actually ties in. Licht und Schatten.
Light and shadow.
I pronounce that light and shadow, or to be completely literal, light and shade. It goes right into this kind of feeling of the violins being the light, something very soothing and nice, with the pianos kind of playing the part of the shadow being kind of dark in tone, and I'm trying to listen to all the instruments that are going on, because I think they have a guitar in there, right?
I think it's mainly
the piano.
And I just love that like string riff, that string theme, the da 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 da. Beautiful, repetitive, but not annoying. Absolutely a fantastic piece.
Yeah, no, it is a beautiful, beautiful sky. Beautiful sky? What? Beautiful song.
It's a beautiful glassy sky.
Oh, that's two puns in one podcast. I'm gonna leave you alone here. I am going to disassociate you. We're no
that will be available on
with each other.
Link in the description. All right. Let's forge ahead here. Another song I really wanted to include here was one that actually, you know what, Sunar, I want you to pick the next one. I'm feeling different here. I'm feeling like we're gonna jump to what you're feeling like. I always pick the songs on these things, like with the guest. I'm letting you do it. What's the next song we're talking about?
You pick it. This is terrible. Okay, my eyes are drawn to Wanderers.
I was gonna pick that one. Wanderers, yes, absolutely. Oh, okay. Tell me what you're feeling when you
with
hit
those pianos.
Yes,
sadness for one. You know what it really reminds me of?
What?
Have you ever heard of Dot Hack?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it really has a Dot Hack feel. Specifically, GU.
I can see that. I can see a dot hack feel here. To me, this like song captures isolation and introspection like almost immediately. Kaneki is a bit of a wanderer, like moving through life without like a true like identity to belong to between ghoul or human. This piece is extremely atmospheric, and I think it's one of the more strictly atmospheric pieces in the original soundtrack, because like we said, the other songs like Unravel and Catharsis have those like dramatic song structures where we go from like melodic moments to super intense rock breaks, but this one almost has a hypnotic feeling to it, where we're just reflecting and contemplating about Kaneki's existence, but there's still like this fragility and simplicity that echoes throughout the entire piece, that I really am fond of, because you go from like singular note, here's a chord, here's another little chord, and all of a sudden here's a melodic soundscape that you're just drawn and wanting to know how it continues and how it ends,
I feel very much of a sense of giving up with the song.
Really? I did not perceive it like that.
Like, I'm going to go to specific times where it's just kind of kind of accepting the inevitable with the main instrument,
Right.
and then it falls into right around 114, where it's kind of
I know
building
exactly
up
what you're
and
talking
building
about.
up
Yeah.
and building up,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you just
Release.
surrender and let things
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not triumphant. It's not a triumphant sound. It's not victory. It feels kind of like, sort of like just a scream of letting go. Like I give up. I'm done.
Right.
At
Right,
least
right.
that's what it speaks to me at the moment.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
And then I don't know how to feel about everything after, because there is a sense of peace about surrendering and giving up, but this doesn't feel entirely like a victorious thing.
No.
It feels kind of sad,
I see what you mean.
which is the entirety of Tokyo Ghoul. Like, Tokyo Ghoul is a very sad story, up until the very end.
I mean,
which saves your
it's
warm.
like, yeah. No, yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Sorry,
But all in
continue.
all, this song is one that makes you, and I mean, wander. It makes you literally wander in your mind. I feel like the titling in this specific anime soundtrack is very literal. Like we were talking about light and shadow with the last one, and now we're talking about wandering. And like the titles of the songs kind of just perfectly represent them. I don't feel like that's the same case with like other soundtracks as much, but this one's really nailed that. Like that's a definite strength to the Tokyo Ghoul soundtrack. All right.
Yeah.
The next one I want to go to, I need to talk about the one that's closest to Wanderers, in my opinion. It's most similar to it. Remembering.
Oh, not what I expected.
This one is soft as well, just like Wanderers, but I find it simpler. I find it more like a
It's
musical diary entry, almost. Like a type of song that would be used once in the soundtrack. It's delicate. It captures that fragility of the moment, of the emotion. It's slower. It's more subtle. And I think that makes it not as emotionally deep as the other songs. But we have these very simple, poignant, melodical notes that just kind of hit one after the other. And with it, you gather a section that gradually blends into another layer and another layer and another layer, and it's a perfect underscore for whatever that musical diary entry moment in the anime is. How do you feel about it? But like sonically and musically, what do you think about this song?
It's haunting. I use that term a lot. Oh, holy crap. These lyrics and vocals are insane to me.
Why?
Not because it's particularly hard, but there's so much emotion behind the voice, and the voice is like, it sounds like it's on the verge of collapsing, on cracking and breaking.
Yes, it's very thematic for Tokyo Ghoul soundtrack to be like that. I find it's gorgeous.
You know what's strange is that it's not from Kaneki's perspective. It's remembering who he used to be from someone else's perspective.
Right.
Hence the term remembering. But no, it is beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is phenomenal. So sorry about like taking us on a wild goose chase, but I wanted to hear if the original song sounded anything like that, like what you put out. But holy crap, I actually like it more than the Music Box version.
All right, let's take it. We only have like 2-3 songs left here, so we can even we don't even have to do all of them. We'll just talk a little bit and see where it takes us. But another song I absolutely want to talk to is and I'm gonna try to not butcher this name. Here we go. Kisetsu wa Tsugitsugi Shindaiku. This one, oh my gosh.
By
Amazarashi.
Oh, Amazarashi. Yeah, okay. I couldn't read the Japanese version.
It's okay. I've been studying Japanese, and I see a little bit of hiragana in the title of this song, so I'm like familiar with like ends of phrases. This song was Oh my god. Okay. I don't want to give tears when I say this because I do want to approach it like as a fellow composer. But this song was one of the first ones that I heard in anime music that made me want to be like, I want to do these covers way more often. It's one of those covers that I did on Spotify and it blew up, and it was this one's always had a really special place in my heart because of that. It's got beautiful orchestration. It's got a super simple, like, resonating quality to it that I really like, where just that drum beat is continuously driving you in the face and you just want to hear more and more and more until you hit that chorus and it just blows up. And it's just a circus of melody and atmospheric sounds, simple guitar riffs, but it's all drawing more and more and more and more and more, and it just feels like a very beautiful musical cycle as you listen through this thing. What do you think about this song?
What do I think? You want my honest opinions?
Please, only.
Not a fan.
How come?
It sounds very typical Japanese opening. To me, I've heard this sound before in a million other animes.
That's a fair criticism. That's a very fair criticism. Because, like, when I talk about simplicity, you talk about it's repetitive. I've heard this before. You know what I mean? So we kind of have a bit of commonality in our compliments / critics of it.
Well, if we listen to Unravel, Catharsis, and Asphyxia, they have a very unique sound that is you can only relate to.
They have their own musical identity. Yes, I will agree with that.
This could be an opening to anything. This could go into any anime, and it would make sense.
Right.
Which is probably, like, I could see this in Naruto. I could see this in Bleach. I could see this in Demon Slayer. I could see this anywhere.
Right.
To me, it's not my favorite personally.
No, that's totally fair.
That being said, I really like the instrumental in the background. I actually think I like the instrumental more than the melody of the lead vocalist.
Right. I mean, to me, it's like it has its simplicities, but I think it's more of a nostalgic reaction that I have to it more than anything else.
I mean, music is subjective. You're allowed to like something that
Absolutely.
I don't like.
No,
like,
absolutely.
Music,
absolutely.
all forms of art is just very opinionated. So it's just, to me, I could see this as an opening or in somewhere and basically put everywhere. And I've heard this sound so often that I'm just kind of personally not impressed. That being said, I'll probably make a cover of it. But speaking of Asphyxia, we probably should do that one. Oh, I love Asphyxia. It's probably my third place favorite song, but oh man,
why is that?
It's so good.
What do you like the most about it?
Okay. So the breakdown, right, like the soft introduction, at the beginning with very minimal instrumentals, and as she ends there, which in the lyrics that I know is far out of sight, a prisoner of the night, prisoner of the night lies a small child taking its final breath, and then the clump of like voices and instruments right before going into the first verse is so freaking good. And this is one of the songs that I would say is unapologetically Tokyo Ghoul. It has that same sound as that TK brought when he brought in Unravel and Catharsis.
It's got that same,
and
like,
it has
vibe
that sound
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
With the focus on falsettos and high pitch vocals, and that transition from falsetto and breathy tones into extreme belting, and this wild, like, elaborate instrumental in the background. Man, I love this song. It's so good. It's also really hard to sing. I feel like there's a trend with me.
Only complicated
songs. Yes. I like things that are incredibly complicated to sing. Oh no.
Only songs that are really difficult to sing.
If my lungs aren't bleeding while I'm singing it, it's not good.
Yeah, exactly. Only songs that like I don't want to sing ever again. I only want to sing them once.
But what are your thoughts of Asphyxia?
I mean, I think you really like captured it really well. It's unapologetic. It's Tokyo Ghoul to a track, to a song, to a T. It's got that energy that matches and almost rivals Unravel a little bit, but it's done in a way where it's got that shuffle rhythm to it though, and it's not as broken apart and dramatic. So it stays in its own musical lane and has its own musical characteristics, such as Catharsis and Unravel. And agree to disagree with me, but like just like Glassy Sky.
No, I like Glassy Sky. Glassy Sky is pretty.
Yeah. I feel like I'm at a point where like we have other songs on this playlist, but we don't, like I said, we don't have to talk about anything unless you absolutely want to talk about like either of these last two songs. I think I'm in a good place to just slowly kind of conclude on things. What about you?
I'm getting there, but I'm gonna put you to the test and put a little game for you and potentially the comments. Between all four of Tokyo Ghoul's openings, Unravel, Asphyxia, Catharsis, and what was the other one you called it?
Glassy Sky.
No. Openings.
Oh, openings.
Was it opening?
It was.
Glassy Sky was an opening, right?
I think it is, yeah.
Okay, Glassy Sky.
Glassy
and then
Sky, a Tokyo.
The one by. I think it's an opening.
Yes, Glassy Sky is an opening. Yes, it is.
What about the one by Amazarashi? What's it called?
That one is not an opening, it's an ending.
Okay, so between all four of the openings, yes, I'm gonna have you rank them from first place to fourth place, and this goes for the comments as well. I want to hear your list too.
Okay, we'll conclude on that. I like that. That's a nice way to conclude it. I'd start with. You're putting me in a place I don't want to be.
That's why.
And you're smiling about it in the back there. I'm gonna have to put. I think I'm gonna put Asphyxia on the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Catharsis third. Glassy Sky second, and Unravel first. What about you?
Okay. Fourth place goes to Glassy Sky. I love it.
Oh, no. Get off the spot. Get off the spot.
I love it. It's beautiful, but I like the other ones more. Third place goes to Asphyxia. Second, Catharsis, and number one, Unravel.
Lovely.
Unravel's too iconic.
Unravel is too iconic not to. Tsunar, what are your final thoughts, and where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitch, Tsunar Cologne, with Jonathan Strong being my music channel on YouTube. I do a mix of covers going from traditional alternative rock music to anime openings to basically anything I feel like. I need to upload more often. I am working on a cover of Unravel right now if I ever get off my lazy butt to do it. But yeah, you can. Those are my two primary places. Thank you so much for having me, Jean.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll definitely have you back in the future. You can please subscribe to JaianMusic Notes on your favorite podcatcher. At JaianMusic on social media for my to follow me. JaianMusic.com is my website. Make sure to go to laser.io, use code JaianMusic 25% off, and go follow GoPro Kyo, who does all of the artwork for JaianMusic Notes. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. We post every single week, so please go and subscribe to JaianMusic Notes in your favorite podcatcher. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.